All right, folks, welcome back to the Crisis Report. It is February 2nd, 2026. It's entitled Damage Control, and we will go from there. There's not a lot going on. PA, what up? Not a lot going on, which is good. This is a smaller report, but I got to be honest with you, I've been dealing with a sick child. So I'm not going to be able to do PrepperNow, and this one is not going to be long-winded. So my son's he's having a bout with seems like migraines. So we're starting it. So I'm going to give you a little tip if you have anything going on in your life medically. This is something my wife does. I think it's very smart. Started doing it with him because he started in mid-December. If you notice something is off medically, take a diary of it, okay? Jot it down, write it down. Okay, this happened on this date. Okay, this is where I was. This is what I was doing. This is what I ate. Happens again. All right, this is what's going on. This is where I was. This is what I was eating. This is what I was, drinking and doing. How much sleep I got the night before. And you know what I mean? It's just a really good thing to do for whatever's going on. So you can document, and it gives you just basically a history, just like a detective. So we've been doing that with him. He's had 3 bouts now in the last 7 weeks. So nothing cataclysmic or terrible, probably just dietary based. And so we're going to go through, and sure enough, we're looking at all the stuff. And all the things he's eating right now are not great. They kind of trigger headaches and stuff like that. Could be weather, whatever. But, being a parent, you always go to the bad places and you think, oh my God, whatever. So if you're a praying kind of person, and you can put my little guy in your prayers just so you can kind of get through this. It's been kind of messing with him. So, because he gets a low-grade headache, and then it kind of gets worse, and then he throws up, and nausea is a big sign of that. So anyway, so that's what we've been dealing with tonight, all night. And, could be a lot worse. I know there's people that are dealing with a lot of other stuff, but like I said, just whatever's going on with yourself medically, if you're noticing something's off or whatever, just document it. Just take it down and take little notes and just kind of document it. So little word of the wise. Makes sense, and it does help. All right. I am going to start on the crisis report. I appreciate you being here. As you know, being a dad, and that's another thing about these. I'm always going to come and be here. Sometimes they're going to be a little bit shorter. Sometimes they're going to be long-winded and all that. But I'm not AI. I am a human being. I'm a father first, and so when things are going on in my world, I might chat about it, and I might tell you all about things. So if you're looking for like an AI robot that's not going to have some and all that in the middle, and you're looking for perfection, well, there's plenty of channels out there that are doing what they do. If you want the most comprehensive news on YouTube from a guy that has a background in the education business and history teacher and all that, well, you're in the right place. So let's get started on your crisis report for February 2nd, 2026. Appreciate you being here. Here we go. We're brought to you by Augusta Precious Metals. Benjamin Netanyahu told the Knesset that Israel is on high alert and ready for any possible scenario. President Trump says something major is about to come out to the public regarding the alleged 2020 election fraud in Fulton County, Georgia, following the FBI raid and the ballot seizure. So I don't know what that is, but hey, whatever. There's a need for some diversions right now, if you know what I mean. Trump says he is never friendly with Jeffrey Epstein and claims newly released DOJ information shows he and Mr. Jeffrey and author Michael Wolff worked together to undermine Trump and his presidency. Israel has placed private ambulances on nationwide standby for the next 5 months amid rising tensions with Iran. Iran has indicated it is prepared to shut down or suspend its nuclear program in a major concession to the United States. Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton have both agreed to testify before the House regarding the Jeffrey investigation. I honestly don't think they'll be there. I think basically, you know, I think they just said they're going to be there, and the reason why is because when it comes down, they'll have to, I think they'll bow out, whatever. But anyway, yeah, Mississippi Gulf Coast prepper. I can't go Cajun prepper. Uh, I'm sorry you have suffered from a stroke, and I'm sure you, yeah, but I appreciate you saying with those nice words, my man. And back at you. If you don't know Mississippi Gulf Coast Cajun Prepper, he is here nightly, and he's one of my good subscribers and all that. He also, I think, he just signed up for the Crisis Report on Substack. And if you're not familiar with that, well, what you're reading right here is Substack, and that all goes along with these broadcasts. So you have a full and total transcript of everything that we are doing here, which I think is important. So that way, I'm not just making this stuff up, and you can generally file a lot of these things. Like this guy's on Telegram. This is disclosed. You can follow that online. So there's different places you can go to get this stuff because I get it all over. Federal judge Anna blocks Trump administration from ending the TPS, or the protective status, for more than 350,000 Haitian immigrants, allowing them to remain in the United States. Dayton, Ohio. What are you going to do? North Korean experts claim extreme torture would be needed to uncover the full truth about the Jeffrey things through Ghislaine Maxwell. You got to love the North Korean perspective. When you really want to know how to get it done for information, trust the North Koreans. They'll tell you exactly how to do it. DHS Secretary Kristi Noem is effective immediately. We are deploying body cameras to every officer in the field in Minneapolis. As funding is available, the body camera program will be expanded nationwide. Trump says the Europeans have to be very careful, adding that they're at a tipping point. You have tremendous immigration problems, and you have tremendous energy problems. Trump says if we don't do crypto, then China's going to do it. I don't do crypto, and I'm fine. So I'm not here to give you financial advice, but I'm going to tell you right now, I don't do crypto. And if the country didn't do crypto, I'd be okay with it. So I don't care what China does. SpaceX and XAI have combined. They created the most valuable private company in the world. Now, I read some of the 12th most expensive company in the world, but I think that's public included. So XAI and SpaceX together as one. Trump announced India's Prime Minister Modi agreed to stop Russian oil purchases and buy much more from the U.S. Trump announced a trade deal that cuts the U.S. tariffs on India from 25% to 18%, while India agreed to reduce its tariffs and non-tariff barriers on U.S. goods to zero. Republican Senator Lindsey Graham is upset that the U.S. has not attacked Iran yet and calls out Trump for, quote, speaking like Reagan but acting like Obama. Antifa punched Will Stansel. Will Stansel said it's head spinning somehow after 22 days, spending 5+ hours a day patrolling for icy. Antifa types have decided that the only thing should not be allowed to do that, but I am a danger to everyone around me and should be universally excluded from left spaces. Insanity. My crime? Talking to mainstream press about what was happening, posting a handful of videos, public spaces, edited to ensure no one else is identified, stating my disapproval of agitators lighting fires in my neighborhood and getting punched in the head for the trouble. So, don't try to stop Antifa when they're on a violent streak, okay? Trump on Cuba. Mexico is going to cease sending them oil. Cuban government proposed cooperating with the U.S. government in the fight against terrorism, drug trafficking, and money laundering, assuring that it does not support terrorist groups nor allow foreign bases on its territory. The move comes after a 2-week deadline until Cuba's electrical system collapsed due to a lack of oil on the island. So they're in a tight space. Big problems. Russian Foreign Intelligence, the SVR, accuses French President Emmanuel Macron and the French intelligence of plotting series of military coups and uprisings against African countries, aiming to restore neo-colonial rule in Africa. Such a report is being widely relayed by various Pan-Africanist influencers, but also by certain key embassies, notably the Russian embassies in Kenya and Ethiopia at the moment. Russian forces launched another massive air attack against Ukraine, with Kiev, Kharkiv, and Odessa as the main apparent targets. Additional reports claim that Russian Tornado MLRS systems are pounding Kharkiv, with many explosions reported in the city. You believe it's 4 years this month. Trump sent the aircraft carrier USS Nimitz to the Middle East. Wall Street Journal, official American sources told countries in the region that President Trump has not yet decided whether to attack Iran. President Trump asked his advisors for quick and decisive strike options that would not risk a long-term war in the Middle East. The president's advisors said that such an option probably does not exist. Israeli army has begun spraying herbicides to kill all plants and trees near the borders with Lebanon and Syria, fearing that dense vegetation could hide militants or intruders. Northern Command decided to clear all vegetation close to the fence for security reasons. Where's Greta? How dare you? U.S. stock market concentration is at record levels. S&P 500 Herfindahl-Hirschman Index, or the HHI, is up to 195 points, near the highest on record. Metric measures how evenly market value is distributed across all 500 stocks in the index. A higher number indicates increased, volatility, really. So, yeah, the concentration is up. Everybody thinks that stocks are going to go up forever. It is what it is. U.S. Labor Department says January jobs report will not be released on Friday due to the ongoing partial government shutdown. AI borrowing is skyrocketing. Big tech firms issued a record $120 billion in corporate debt in 2025 to fund AI-related investments. Issuance surged 500% compared to 2024 levels. This is also more than in the 4 preceding years combined. So, yeah. Older workers are getting back into the U.S. labor market at a rapid pace. Workers aged 65 and older now reflect 0.8% of all new hires, the highest in at least a decade. Marks the sharp increase from the 0.5% seen in 2022. So, and gold and silver. Gold surges 5%, back above 48.50. Silver surged 11%. That is back above $85 an ounce. Silver's now 20% from its low in just 12 hours. By the way, it helps if I actually share this stuff out. Can you tell I'm a little rattled tonight? Yeah, there you go. That's the crisis report looks like for you right there. All that, see? Damage control, got the link. There it is. Get the places. Hey, I want to go there for a link. Hey, what's going on? I want to go there for a link. Hey, look at that one there. Oh, yeah. Oh, there's a link there. Here's a link. There's a link. Everywhere a link. Yep. So, as you can see, the crisis report is on Substack, and it's a great place to find it and go on your own. So, that, my friends, is your crisis report. I'm going to go on. I'm going to do another video in the morning. Hey, water chicken, do what someone told me. Just go out and start buying nickels. Go to a bank and say, I need $20 in nickels. Okay? Just do that. Trust me. That's not investment advice. I'm just trying to get you to, it's Dancing Pete. He dances for nickels. Yeah. That's not investment advice. That's just trading out 20 for 20, bud. So, yeah. Yep, you get it. So, that, my friends, is the crisis report. So, can I just like tell you how nice it is to be able to come here? You know, people that don't know me or haven't been around that long, they always go, you know, why don't you show your face? No. I don't show it because, you know, I'm in education and I don't want that whole rigmarole. But also, there's a catharsis. Like there's an ability for me to just be kind of more real if my face isn't, I don't know. That's the only way I can put it. So by being able to come here and just like kind of lay it down and like talk about my son and my family and everything, I know a lot of people are like, whatever, dude. But like there's a catharsis to it. So for those that do care, and I know there's a good amount out there, like thank you. I was in a, you know, let's just say it's not good to go Google what your child's symptoms. So I was in a bad place there earlier tonight, sitting there holding him as his head was hurting and all that, and he's, you know, crying and all that. And I don't know. I'm lucky. I'm lucky to be a dad. I didn't actually think I got 2 minutes. Screw it. The people left that don't care. Um, you know, I talk about my sobriety, and when I was getting sober, I thought I missed my window. I did. I didn't think I was ever going to be a dad. I thought I missed my window. And I was like, okay with it. I was sad. I was like, you know, all right, it is what it is. Nothing I can do about it. At least I'm getting myself like, you know, in a good place, right? And then of course, after about 10 months sober, I met my wife, and then we started dating, and then things went from there. And then when I had my first daughter, um, I truly, you know, I just something changed. Like I love being a dad. It's probably my favorite thing in the world. Uh, and then, you know, second daughter came and, you know, just to the moon. And then my son, who is 7, he wasn't expected. You know, we kind of put it into God's hands. We were like, hey, if this is supposed to be, you know, cool. If not, we're good. And sure enough, about a month later, we found out that my wife was pregnant with my son. And you know, I had a brother, and my dad, for those that have been here, was abused. And, you know, he's kind of a miracle in himself because he really did break the cycle. He did, you know, he never hurt my father or my brother and I. He was a phenomenal dad. Talk to him tonight. I mean, he's probably my favorite human being. Um, and now, like, I get to be that to my son. And so, when you're sitting there and you're watching him go through a problem, and you know, you just want to ask God, be like, God, please put that on me. Take that from him. and put that on me. I don't want him to, I don't want him to have to go through this, whatever it may be. It's it's a cool thing. It's a cool thing. I love being a dad, and so yeah, I love being a YouTuber too because of you guys. I love being a husband. Love being a coach. Love being a part-time musician rocker. So I'm extremely blessed, guys. If you don't know that God is real, go seek Him. Seek Him now, because when I did, everything opened up. Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior, and He is the way, the hope, and my Lord. I got to tell you what. Since I've turned everything over to Him, and I got to tell you, life is beautiful. So, and I know no matter what is thrown at us and my family, we will get through it, and we will do it in His name, because I know. As I said tonight, I said about 10 times, I was like, God has a plan. 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 Go seek Him now, okay? See what His plan is for you. I think you might like it. God bless you all. You guys have a great night.